ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and I'm just plain living.
Good morning. I'm Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Fuller, and I'm glad to be living.
I am too.
Glad to be living. We need to change the name of this show. Glad to be living.
Glad to be living.
That is a good one.
As our age,
At our age, we definitely should.
Glad to be living. That's a fact.
Julia, our producer, said one time that we should change it because we'd gotten older. That we should change it to assisted living.
Glad to be in assisted living.
Yeah.
There's some nice assisted living places out there. By the way.
There are, and
I'm not ready for
Marshall
one,
Helston
there's some good ones,
Helston from Life Care is going to be over here today.
Really?
Yeah,
And
he's bringing Dr. Anderson over here. Dr. Anderson
a book, I believe.
has written a book, and they're having a book signing at Life Care, and they're going to discuss that today on the show.
Did you go see American Sniper?
I haven't yet.
You need to see it.
I want to see it, and I'm sort of surprised and not surprised at all the discussion that movie's getting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm not surprised. All those people have never been there and don't have a clue what it's about are always ready to speak up and make some asinine remark. I'm sorry.
That's how they make a living.
Yeah.
It was a great movie, and Chris Kyle was a wonderful American hero.
Yeah. Yeah, and one of the things I've heard said is the people who are talking against it are saying that the movie is celebrating war, but it's not. It's celebrating the bravery of a warrior.
You know, I actually haven't heard anybody talking against it other than Michael Moore. But have you? But,
well, he's an idiot.
You know, so.
He needs to move off. He needs to go live in Fallujah a couple of days.
Peggy says send Michael Moore to Fallujah for a few days.
It won't take long, I tell you.
Have you been to Fallujah?
No, but I've seen
You know
pictures.
people that have.
I know someone that spent quite a bit of time
Quite a bit of time there.
Right.
Anyway, I thought it was a great movie. Yes, I cried, and I love the fact that they showed the side of the families and what it does to the families.
Right, sure.
And the soldiers that come home and they have that syndrome that makes them, have a hard time pulling it back up, and then there they are with
stress,
with their legs off and their arms off, and Michael Moore has the nerve to open his mouth.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I was actually a little surprised at him that he'd make such a comment like that. I mean, he's done some decent stuff, I thought. He did a piece, a documentary about the healthcare system in the United States, which is very, very good.
Yeah, he does some good things.
I mean, he should have stayed out of that.
He should have
deal.
stayed out of that one. But Clint Eastwood was to be congratulated for that production.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, Clint's a man.
Old Clint, he is.
Have you ever seen that movie? What was it about the Torino?
I don't think so.
The car that he had, he was a vet living on a block in a city that had changed, and
I don't think I saw
Gran Torino. You need to watch
Torino.
that movie. You need to rent that movie and watch it. You will love that movie.
This is just totally off the subject, but when Bart got married in California, Janet Patterson and Grant were there, and Clint Eastwood was the mayor of that little town. And, Clint signed her T-shirt, and so Janet didn't wash it for ages.
I can imagine. Clint's the man.
He is the
absolutely.
man,
You know, I was able to watch the movie. I haven't seen Taken 3, but I've seen Taken 1 and 2, the Liam Neeson movie.
Oh my gosh.
And I have decided that Liam Neeson in those 3 movies will probably kill more people than Eastwood did in Hang 'em High.
Right.
We used to go to those movies and count and see how many people he killed.
Well, they got better weapons now.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I'm glad I saw it.
I noticed that the album of the Grammy-nominated songs has hit Amazon, and it's the #1 album in all music right now. And that's an album that's a compilation of all the songs that were up for Grammy Awards, and which it should be the number. I mean, those are the #1 songs in the world. It should be. So congratulations to those people.
Exactly.
And all good things going on. Football Football,
I knew that was coming
football.
up.
Who's playing in the Super Bowl, Peggy?
The Seahawks and the Patriots.
There
We
you
gave
go.
her a test for it on there today. We gave her a test.
Jenny wouldn't have known that.
Jenny wouldn't have known that unless we told
I worked
her.
hard while I was on the treadmill this morning. I was trying to get a few facts in my
Get some
brain.
stuff in your
but I'm
brain.
going to show them.
Jenny was always bad. She didn't want to waste her time even thinking about it if it
I
wasn't
know.
something that was important to her. You know,
In that tunnel.
You'd have to point her in the right direction if you expected her to go in that
She's
direction.
too cute.
And well, and even now she's that way. But of course, she's running after 3 kids and trying to keep them, hemmed into the different places they're supposed to be.
I know,
And
that's-
how kind of time consuming is that?
Very much so.
Yeah, it is, especially when you have a job. Of course, over the weekend, I think they stayed at my house most of the time. All of them had the flu,
Oh my God.
so
Does that mean they breathed on you?
I tried to stay away from
Where's
little
my
devils. Best I could.
Little snot bubbles everywhere.
Germ
huh?
magnets, we used to call them.
Don't you hate that Mucinex man?
Oh yeah, he's an ugly dude.
That little guy.
He's an ugly dude.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanna start something today, and it sort of precipitated from last night's Tullahoma City Board meeting. And the Mayor Curley, had 3 letters that he read from citizens on 3 different subjects, and they were all very, very positive
Good.
about the people that work, our city employees, and Chief's here today, Chief Blackwell, and one of them was about some of his officers who had done an outstanding job. And this was all good stuff, And there's so much bad stuff
I
and
know.
negative stuff
How
that
nice
goes
to have
on
something good.
in this country that I would like to start an initiative today.
Okay.
I want to ask people to email us or call our answering service. Email me, John Gray at pheadtv.com, and tell us something good going on.
Yes. I love
All right.
that. I love that. That's a good
A
idea.
little something I wrote recently.
Let's hear it.
Everything seems upside down. Have they all gone mad? This might be the worst week the world has ever had. There's fighting everywhere. Can't they just get along? As for me, I'm headed home. Something good going on. Something good going on when I hit the door. The smell of supper cooking, kids in the floor. The boss man weighing my pound of flesh don't even know I'm gone. He's got his share. I'm going where something good's going on. Like Odie Lee sitting with a baby in his lap. Uncle Bunch fly catching on the front porch while he naps. A double lemon wedge and Teresa's cold sweet tea, and the glow of dawn on your hair right there next to me. Something good going on. Let the talking heads go to bed with everything that's wrong. I'll spend my time trying to find something good going on. Something good going on waiting there for you at your mama's kitchen table, in a Sunday morning pew. A new melody under a live oak tree. The magic's not all gone. The race ain't done. Here comes the sun. Something good going on.
I like that.
So,
Very nice.
you folks out there, if you know anything good going on, you're having a baby, you're getting married, you got a raise, simple. It doesn't have to be anything really important, just something good going on. You email me or call us at 393-0081 and tell our answering service something good going on in your life, and we'll report that to our audiences on this show and on the news show. And let's just find something good going on out there, folks, because there's too much bad stuff happening.
I got something good going on.
What?
My grand niece just had a little boy last week. And this we call him the little big man. He came out weighing 11 pounds.
Oh, goodness.
He was already grown. It's beautiful. So that was something good going on.
All right.
In my
So,
family.
just pick it up, folks, and let's see if we can make this work. And we'll report to you out there about the good things going on.
Yeah,
You know,
It's time.
too often you only hear about the negative things, don't you?
well, the news, I think the news does that because I think it's more alarming
That's it.
You know, it's
more alarming.
what do I want to call? There's this term for it. Shock.
Yeah, the
Shock factor of
Yeah.
what's happening, and not enough is said about the things that happen that are
good.
kind
and decent.
and gentle
Exactly.
and decent and just simple good things.
You know, it's so unfortunate that it's that way, but to tell you the truth, you know, not a lot of negative things really happen in our community. So when you're writing the headlines to the news, you go down there and you try to find the worst thing.
You have
and
to stick it out there.
That's what you put in. That's what you put in your little teasers to lead into it.
That's too bad.
It is.
That's
Yeah,
too
it really
bad.
is,
Yeah.
you know,
Because
so.
there's a lot of good things that go on in this community, in this region.
I'll tell you one thing, something else good going on is there's an initiative that's been started by the Centennial Women's Club to light up South Jackson, and last night at the city board meeting as well, the city board agreed to match up to $100,000
Whoa.
in funds raised by the
Wonderful.
Women's Club.
Give them all a big hand.
And
Woo!
you know, and they're doing some other things. Lane Curley, Mayor Curley, they're going to do some work on the soccer fields and try to help get those lit to where they can bring more people into town for tournaments
Light
and
up
things like
Tullahoma,
that.
is that it?
And you know, so that's something really good going on, and the initiative at South Jackson. If anybody out there wants to write a check, they sure could use the money. Well, there's a lot. There's a
Because
lot of
that's pretty huge. That's pretty big.
well,
right
yeah,
there,
there's a lot of big
Yeah, it's
projects
big.
going on there, and the projects right now are being broken down into cost factors. Like they want to take the front two reception rooms and take the concession stand out and
make
move it to another room and make
big.
that all one big room where there can be small venue house concerts, smaller plays.
Exactly.
There can be dinner theater done in there.
I know it's a
and-
wonderful project, and the Centennial women are to be congratulated for taking this
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Somebody asked me about that on Saturday. I think it was Sandy Lindeman.
Yeah, she's one of the chair
she'd like
people.
to be on the show and
Yeah.
talk about that.
I think it's so important that people understand that the arts validate this as one of the nicest communities around. This, in Manchester and Tullahoma, wherever the arts are, we need to support them.
Well, and we have
And
a lot of
for that.
wonderful 501c3s in this town that
Yes,
do a
we
lot of
do.
wonderful things. But the ones that generate income for the city and tax dollars are South Jackson, the Arts Center, and the Science Center.
That's true.
Because those are the three places where people from out of town come here to see and hear things and experience things at these three venues. And when they come, they eat. Some of them spend the night. They shop, and which generates
brings the money to
income
Tullahoma.
for Tullahoma. So
And we need to not leave out the new pool that's being built, because that's going to generate.
oh yeah, that's
great.
going to be phenomenal.
So it's a nice place to live.
It is. It is. Something good going on right after these commercials, folks. Don't you go away.
Are you tired of getting those letters in the mail being turned down for that new car due to bankruptcy, medical expenses, or divorce? Then look no further than Russell Barnett Kia. Good credit, bad credit, no problem. Here at Russell Barnett Kia, we are your bank. Dial 931-455-6066 or visit us on the web at russellbarnett.com. And remember, we are the bank and we can help you. Good credit, bad credit, no problem. Why buy anywhere else?
It's your trademark. That's something special everyone knows and remembers. It's your thing. It's made holidays special for decades and summers unforgettable for the entire neighborhood. It's made everyone laugh every single time. Don't let illness or injury keep you from doing your thing. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. This is our segment we call Police Pointers, and we're pleased to have with us today Paul Blackwell, the Chief of Police in Tullahoma, who just told me an interesting thing here about the little solar lights that tell you how fast you're going. Issues when it gets cloudy.
It does. Solar powered relies on the sun or pretty good ray, and our solar speed signs, that's how they charge the battery is through sunlight. So if we have several of the cloudy days, overcast days, the batteries don't get powered up, and like any electronic, when the power starts going bad, it acts haywire.
Right.
So sometimes you may see, especially the ones on Jackson, because of so much traffic, they start flashing. They're switching over to kilometers. So, you know, you may be going 30 and it's saying 50, and they're flashing 50 and it's reading kilometers. So we have to let the sun recharge the batteries, go out, reprogram them, and you know, that's one of the residual effects of not having bright sunny days.
You know, but you know, those lights are actually quite helpful, I think. I mean, to remind people that you may not realize how fast you're going. You know, if you see that thing flashing, then it makes you think.
Yeah. And that was the sole purpose for us putting them in.
Right.
They don't generate any revenue. They're not speed cameras or anything.
Right.
It was to make people aware that, hey, look at your speed, understand you're driving too fast, and slow down a little bit. You
know, one of the funniest things, though, that I remember, I think I remember this because it's been a while, but you were at a board meeting and one of the aldermen was questioning you about this. And he said, well, every time I see them, they're flashing. And he said, that's because you're speeding. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And you know, and the other, it didn't cost the city a penny. All of those were purchased by grant money.
Right.
And we're going to buy one more this year, and then we'll have, I believe it's 9 throughout the city, and they're all paid for from grant money.
And they're portable. You can kind of move them around.
We can when we didn't have a big complement, when we only had 4 or 5, we would take them down and move them to another spot, things like that. But now that we'll have 9, we'll be able to fix them at different. But we still have the trailer,
right?
That can be towed around to different locations and set up.
Right.
Now the trailer will take a picture.
Yeah.
And we can actually set it to a certain speed, and if you're exceeding that speed, it'll take a picture of you and send it to us.
Yeah.
So we can start doing some research and seeing, are you habitual at driving down this road at 4 o'clock in the afternoon at 60 miles an hour? And then we can take some action to try to locate them and identify them.
So if you're an habitual offender, there's a chance you could get a visit from the Tullahoma Police Department.
We won't go out looking for them like to their house, but we'll go out to where they seem to be speeding.
Yeah.
And have a little talk with them there.
Right. Perhaps the company buy a ticket. I don't know.
And it's not a ticket to the policeman's ball either.
That's right. Policeman's ball. I remember when we used to have those. We don't do that anymore.
No. And there's all kinds of industry jokes about that, but you know, sometimes it's not best to talk about those kind of jokes.
I wasn't going to get into that, but
yeah,
it was just kind of brought back some nice memories.
Oh, sure.
The policeman fireman's ball.
Yeah.
It was a fun place to be. Yeah. Why are you here today?
That was not why I was going to speak today, but you know, question for you, a little quiz. Do you know how many traffic signals, red lights, we have in Tullahoma?
38?
Oh, no. Half of that, though, we have 19.
Have 19.
Have 19 traffic lights. And one of the things, we get in our car every day and we drive to work, to school, wherever we have to go to, and we don't think anything about it. We come to a red light, we expect it to be working and everything, but what happens when it doesn't work? You can see the frustration that comes over everybody.
Right.
You know, and why is it a power outage at just that one location? Is it a power outage in the general area, or is it citywide power outage? As we said, we have 19 traffic lights, and on any given time, we may have you know, anywhere from 4 to 8 officers working. So if we had a citywide blackout, the traffic lights aren't working, we don't have enough officers to cover all those red lights.
Oh yeah, you're exactly right.
Right, so we have to dispatch them to those lights that's going to have the most volume. You know, maybe up by the hospital at that intersection, maybe down at the viaduct. But again, we can't dispatch all of our officers there either because they have to answer other calls. So we may be able to put 2 officers on a couple red lights. But you see, then what happens to you, the driver, when you approach those signals? You go into massive frustration overload. I mean, you know, as I've often said sitting up here, if you look at the other driver eye to eye, you see frustration, you see anger, you see confusion. And you see that when our traffic lights will quit working.
Oh yeah, confusion.
Total confusion.
Yeah.
So kind of what I want to do is just go over what you do when you approach that type of intersection. And we have kind of two situations. One where the light is completely out, black. In those instances, everybody is to treat it like a stop sign, a four-way stop sign. It could be a three-way if you're over by Tullahoma Funeral Home where it's only 3 roads. But you treat it like it's a stop sign all the way around. And then the principles of right-of-way apply. You know, if you arrive there, 2 cars arrive at the same time, the vehicle to the right has the right-of-way. And that's where that eye contact comes in because, you know, come on.
Yeah.
I want to make sure, you know, there's some communication there. So that's when the light is completely black, nothing going on. Take your time. If you approach it and let's say it's flashing yellow, you know, there's some signals that maybe the power's not completely gone, but something has happened to the light, so it goes to yellow. If it's yellow, it's proceed with caution. You don't have to stop, but a prudent person would make sure they go through that very slowly, looking around.
Exactly.
Because the other sides are going to have the red flashing light, and that, of course, is to stop. But again, we're talking about a time when everybody is frustrated, everybody's confused. Don't count on the fact that it says a red flashing light, just like a stop sign. Don't count on the fact that just because there's a sign there that that person's going to stop at it. You've got to be conscious to look and make sure there's no one coming. And I'm sure we've all sat at those intersections trying to do the right thing, and then you see that guy, that person, blow through the red light, and you think, look at that. Lucky someone didn't have an accident, because they would have killed somebody.
Right.
And there's always going to be those people that are just driving without paying attention to what they're doing, and will just blow through that intersection without slowing down.
I can sort of see why we would be confused doing that, because I know you might think that happens a lot, but it's actually fairly rare.
Very, very rare. I mean, you know, if we have a major storm, or if you get that squirrel, you know, the squirrel that runs through the power station and gets fried, you know, that's generally when we have our problems, is when something other than really an electrical failure causes it.
Right.
And those are very rare. And that's why it's so important, because we don't have to deal with it on a regular basis. You know, we're so comfortable approaching that light, it's red, yellow, or it's green, and now all of a sudden we're approaching that light and there's nothing there.
Right.
And we go into massive panic.
Panic mode.
So the key is avoid an accident by driving defensively. And we say that every time we talk about that, is you've got to drive defensively. You've got to look out for the other driver. If it means slowing down, so be it. Let everybody pass you. If it means stopping at a stop sign a little bit longer to make sure everybody's on the same sheet there at that stop sign, that's what it takes to be safe. Let the other car have the accident.
Right.
You know, you don't want to be the one that has the accident.
Exactly. All right.
How many traffic lights?
19.
19. Unless I missed one or two, and there may be one hidden.
Oh, wait
somewhere.
a minute. I thought this was absolutely the answer.
It is.
Yeah, okay.
But, you know, we could put up a new one tomorrow, and I'd say, yeah, they just put it up.
Okay.
But 19 traffic
The
lights.
truth of the matter is, Paul had no idea, so I guess.
Well, you were right, though. You were 50% right.
Yeah, okay. Better than being totally wrong. Paul, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
As always. Folks, we'll be right back in a moment with more Living right after this.
Take your medicine?
Oh gosh, I forgot it.
Her nurse. You need a claim number? Her personal assistant. Let me just grab her housekeeper. Her her cook, her accountant. When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving to connect with experts and other caregivers. Together we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
Welcome back. We're pleased to have joining us now Jerry Harris, who is one of our partners here at PHED Productions, or our Channel 6, and you're here today to talk about
Telco Management Group.
All right.
We're going to be.
Tell us what that is.
Well, Telco Management's a group of 77 individuals, such as myself, throughout the Southeast that we have a partnership that we all work together, and we put in communication services. And on the 18th of February, here in the studio, we're going to have a forum. It's going to be open house. I've got people coming in from Knoxville, Florida, and Birmingham that are going to go over Microsoft 365, voice over IP, voice through the cloud, and explain all the latest technology to the different businesses.
And this has to do with your phone and internet, I assume. Is that right?
Well, a lot of people think you got to have a phone line, but you don't. Matter of fact, it's really neat because you can, if you got internet service, you can have both internet and phone conversations. It's just the way it's set up. So virtually you go with voice over IP, you can call anybody in the United States, no long distance call. That's just one example. You can transfer calls if you're on the same cloud circuit. You can, like, if I was sitting here and I got a call and they said, well, I need to talk to Jimmy about this, I can say, well, wait a minute, I hit a button, it'll go to you, and you be at the other office. So it's real neat in the way it works, and it's very, very economical. It will destroy a phone bill. That's one thing I have found out, that even with the new type phones and all, it's still far less expensive than normal telephone lines.
You hear a lot of people today talking about the cloud. Can you explain to us what that is?
Well, it's the internet all the time. I mean, I'm like everybody else. It's back when I was with Life Communications for years, people started wanting ISDN because it's supposed to be faster. And they say, well, what does that stand for? And I would tell them exactly what I thought. I still don't know. That's exactly what it stood for. But the cloud is basically, it's a network that's in the airways, that if you've got a platform built, such as a server, and that's like your ISPs, they're internet service providers. They provide the airways for it, and you use it. It's just according to the speed you get it. And that's why now you hear people talking about WANs and LANs, wide area network and local area networks. They're all connected together for all that are involved in that circle to benefit from.
So it's safe to say then that if it's cloud-based, which a lot of things are these days, they don't have to come out and run wire through your building necessarily to do that, right?
No, you can get it wireless now. Of course, it's far better to have a direct internet connection. But now you can operate, one of the demos that's going to be done here is a cell phone. A 4G cell phone is going to be running a full system. Mm-hmm. And all she's got is a 4G cell phone. But she'll have 3 or 4 phones sitting around, and everybody can use those phones. Has to do with compression. You compress down your data. And of course, another thing is letting voice travel through. And you can build a channel to where when you're making a phone call, everything else has to wait until that voice has gone through. And kind of like our trains here. When a train comes through, the guards come down. Now they stop the traffic for a minute. That doesn't mean all that traffic's not going to get through. It's just not going to get through until that train passes. Mm-hmm. Once it passes, the guards come up and the traffic goes through. So your data will still get to where you're sending it. It's just going to have to wait for the voice to get there first.
Okay. Then this is really new, state-of-the-art stuff you're talking about here, I think, isn't it?
Not really, Jimmy. I can remember back before I retired from Life Communications that for over 15 years I was an independent agent with Bell South, and I got certified on it back then, about 12 years ago. So now it's just progressed to the point that it's more accessible. Back then, you walk in and talk to somebody about the internet, well, very few wanted it. Now just about every home has got it. If you don't have internet in your home, everybody's wondering, well, what's going on? Why don't they have internet? So it's something that is growing, and now it's spread out to the smaller communities. Kind of like if you see on the news right now, Google is about to put fiber in Nashville.
Right.
Well, that's a lot faster than normal. It's about 10 times faster than a normal household. And just like here in Tullahoma, we have some good high-speed service here. Some locations don't, but it's according to where you're at. But once you get to the cloud, you're not restricted by much except what you can receive and what you can send. That's your restrictions.
But what you guys do you sort of guide people in the direction that they need to go and help them figure out what's...
Well, what we will do, and this would be an example, anybody that comes, they can bring their phone bill with them. There'll be 3 or 4 people here that will analyze that phone bill, and they will ask them questions to see what their normally processed during the day is. And if they can point them in a direction that's more beneficial for them. What you want to do in the ideal situation is to take a $500 phone bill, and when the people walk out of here, it's $250. That's the ideal situation. And believe me, it works, especially people that are looking at buying a new phone system. Today, phone systems, I mean, they get expensive. We priced one to one gentleman, the phone system alone was over $30,000 because the number of phones and lines he needed. But he ended up getting it up by month. He got all his service and everything for less than $300 a month. So, I mean, that's pretty good. And that's what this is about.
So do the vast majority of people still have phones, hardware phones in their office?
The majority of people still have phones at home. They still got the cord. They may have a cordless phone, but they still dial up. If the people come here, they bring their bill, we look at it. We're going to make a suggestion to them. We're going to let them play with the phone. We're going to let them see exactly what's out there. They can leave and call later, because a lot of this can be done over the phone, back and forth through emails. I got a package yesterday and I looked at it and I couldn't believe some of the stuff that they're going to be bringing into this studio, the technology, because I mean, it's unbelievable, the knowledge that's out there that I've been in the business for 30 years, and some of it I didn't realize.
I see.
But it's going to be on the 18th. It will be here. We will start 10 o'clock in the morning, and refreshments will be served, but we'll go until about 2:30 in the afternoon whenever people get tired of coming. But if they come, they'll have a great time. You can call me at that 931-581-4411 number. The other number will go to Telco Management, and that's in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, do they need to make reservations that they're coming?
I'd like to know, that they're going to come and what they want to look at. That way we can be prepared, but they can call me. I would give them they can email me at jharris@telcomanagementgroup.net. That's a lot to remember.
Right.
So it's better just call the phone number.
Okay.
Or just show up. I mean, if you walk in and you want to see, we're going to show it to you.
Okay, that's coming up on February 18th.
February 18th.
Okay, all right, folks, don't miss it. If you're in the market for that sort of thing, be sure to check it out. The latest and greatest stuff will be right here in the Charter Channel 6 studios on the 18th of February. Folks, we'll be right back with more Living right after this.
Let the Smokehouse be your mountain getaway destination in beautiful Monteagle, Tennessee. Enjoy our cabins, restaurant, and old general store. Shop thesmokehouse.com featuring homemade barbecue sauces, jellies, and many other fine Tennessee products. Our live Music on the Mountain series features some of the best local and Nashville talent every Friday and Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. No cover, kids welcome.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
All right, folks, we're back, and I'm excited today to have two young men up here with me, and that's Marshall Huddleston from Life Care Center and Dr. Anderson here. And the reason we're here today, guys, is Dr. Anderson has written a book.
Yes, sir.
And John, what's the book about?
This is a historical fiction mystery thriller that's written from a Christian worldview. And in a world that's full of a lot of darkness and despair and hatred, our hope is that there's a real message of light and redemption and hope in here. So an encouragement to people.
Yeah. Very good. Where does it take place?
Well, it's all over the globe. I mean, there's Barcelona, Atlanta, Washington, D.C., Houston, Texas. It's pretty worldwide because the threat that we face comes from a lot of different directions. And it ties into World War II and the Battle of the Bulge and some operations that took place in Italy.
Okay. Well, is there, you say it's a historical fiction. Is there a hero?
There's several heroes.
Is there a specific group of...
You know, there's a scout unit that is at work during the Battle of the Bulge, and certainly the Greatest Generation. I think some of the folks that read it have connected with that group of people that really lived a self-sacrificial life in defending our country and our values. And then there's still people today that defend those same values and those kind of heroes. There's one particular family, the Harrison family, that is the central character group of this book, and they go through a lot of trials, some really tough stuff, but their faith gets them through. So,
all right. Well, is this your first attempt at this?
It is, first attempt. And people have been very kind. We have over 60 reviews on the Amazon.com site, and over 50 of those are 5 stars. So people have been very kind and just well beyond what our expectations were when we sat down to write it about 3 years ago.
About 3 years ago. Now, in the past, and because you're not an old guy. In the past,
he's helping us out. Appreciate
in the
John.
past, is writing something that you did? Because I write and I'm interested. Is it something that you've always sort of done? Have you found yourself scribbling stuff down?
A little bit. In school, of course, we had mandatory writing, and I enjoyed some of that, short stories, poetry, but had an idea of writing a nonfiction book several years ago and piddled a little bit with it, but actually woke up one morning 3 or 4 years ago and had a dream that had a plot thread that was something different than I'd ever heard about. Read a lot myself, read novels and read military history particularly, and I thought this would make a great plot.
Right.
So I developed sort of a skeleton about that plot thread, and then I had a patient who was semi-retired from engineering, did some technical editing for NASA, and he and I always talked about books and what he was reading and what I was reading, and so I shared with him this plot idea. And his name was Pat Clemens, a good friend of mine.
Pat.
So I sent him plot thing, and he embraced it with both arms and said, "This is good stuff. Go with this." And then he volunteered to be my editor, and one thing led to another. So.
Yeah, that's a Pat. Pat was a really great guy, and his wife Pat.
Oh yeah,
the double Pats is what I call them.
Yeah, yeah, super folks. And
very
now we're well over a year into writing the sequel.
Oh,
and Pat's son Matt is performing the same service for that book that his father did for the first book, and. You know, they say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and he is an engineer as well, and writes, and just doing a fantastic job helping with the second book. So
good. And Marshall, what's your play in this role in this play?
Well, we're just glad to have Dr.
facilitator
Anderson, with us at Life Care. He is definitely committed to serving our residents there, and so tonight, which I know it's a little late to announce this because by the time this airs, we'll already be deep into the book signing, but we're hosting the book signing at Life Care Center of Tullahoma, and you're also able to swing by and pick up a copy there as well with a receptionist. So
right. So how long have you been serving over at Life Care, John?
We've had a relationship for we're right at 30 years, and the folks there have just done a tremendous service for my patients. One thing I know beyond a doubt is that the staff and the nurses at Life Care care for my patients, and they demonstrate that day in and day out. And I'm not just saying that because Marshall's here. I'm grateful for how well they've taken care of my patients over several decades.
Well, you know, we had a great experience at Life Care with our family, with my wife's family and her father Bob Couch, and Dot also spent a little time there.
Yes.
And I just want to commend this guy over here.
Yeah.
You know, he is a spark plug. And he's created an atmosphere over there, not only among his staff, but the atmosphere he's created among his staff transfers over to the patients.
Sure.
And you know,
it's contagious.
Have you ever seen the dude sing karaoke?
No.
Huh? He does a great job. He's not quite got that Elvis move down, but he does a great job. We had a wonderful Christmas celebration over there with the staff, and like I say, just the energy that Marshall has brought to the situation over there is infectious.
Yeah, and enthusiasm. I mean, it's as much a ministry to people. Your attitude as medication is. So.
Right. And so, John, where can people get this book? Because that's let me show a picture of the cover of this right here. Julia.
It's available now online through Amazon.com, both as a paperback, which came out the 1st of December, and also as an ebook. And then local bookstores have it. Hastings has it. Local pharmacy has it. Our office, we have copies. And
then Life Care.
And Life Care, yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you. We appreciate the opportunity.
It's always good to see somebody who spends a little time with pen and paper.
Yeah.
And Marshall, as always, buddy, thanks for being here, and appreciate all that you do and all that your staff does at Life Care serving this community.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, folks. We'll be right back after these messages.
At the time, maybe you were just building a bridge, a business, or a community. Maybe you were simply working for a home or a better tomorrow. At the time, you served out of duty and love of country. But in that time, we see a legacy created, an American dream lived. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
There's no place like home.
Getting home safely is just a click away, and choosing the right seat for your little one's age and size will take you down the road to safer travels.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Visit safercar.gov/the-right seat.
Have you heard that little voice that beckons you to come home to Tennessee? Well, here's your chance. Here's a property offered by its owner. It's 20 miles from the National Walking Horse Celebration grounds in Shelbyville, Tennessee, and only 10 minutes away from the Jack Daniel Distillery in Lynchburg. It's located at 769 Shipman Creek Road. This property has over a 5,300 square foot home on 45 acres, and a sprawling 200 acres is also available. Let's take a look at the house. Built in 1998, this home has 4 bedrooms and 3.5 baths. This home offers wide open views, featuring the main floor with over 2,700 square feet of living room, an eat-in kitchen, a formal dining area, and a massive 20 by 19 master bedroom with a master bath and fireplace included. There is craftsmanship at every turn, solid cherry cabinets, built-in cherry shelves, and other solid cherry appointments. It's a 2-story home with 3 nicely sized bedrooms upstairs. Down a spiral staircase, the basement hosts a 40 by 40 den with a handcrafted bar. We're leaving the jukebox here, folks. The basement is a recreation room on steroids. There are too many closets to count and more than you'll ever need. There are so many places in this home to find peace that you'll seldom want to leave it. But when you do, you'll discover up to 200 acres of paved roads with city water. The property is quilted with streams, woods, ponds, and open pasture. The view from the porch alone is enough to say you're home. The property includes a 3-bay heavy construction shop and plenty of room to build stables and graze livestock. If Tennessee's been calling you home, start your journey by calling this number. A property like this comes on the market but once in a lifetime. We think you'll love it. We think you'll stay. This is a very real estate.
I'm meteorologist Leland Statham from the News Channel 5 Weather Center. Look to Jim Fuller and crew for local news night here on Channel 6.
Are we back? Is it time to start this? Hello there. I'd like for you to know I have on the set from Fiddlesticks in Manchester, Chloe Leet and Miss Georgia Jinks. I love that name. That is so cute. Georgia, what grade are you in? 6th. 6th grade, and you're homeschooled.
Yes, ma'am.
And you love art, obviously.
Yes, ma'am.
Chloe, let's quickly give a little rundown on where your shop is and what you do.
We have Fiddlesticks, and it's in Manchester. We were Patch Manor and Friends for about 3 years, and we taught children and adults there when we were there. And we've moved to the Square now.
Which is right across the street from the Manchester Art Center.
Right.
But where the brew used to be.
Right,
so
the brew is gone, and we've moved in.
To.
And so it's 121 East Main.
And we have a phone number in case anybody wants to call for art lessons or just to come and browse and buy stuff.
Right.
And I think we have it up already. I hope I got it right.
That's right.
Okay. So if you want some information when we're finished here, be sure and call that number, and you may want to go quickly and visit the place. All right, we have lots of artwork, and we want to talk a little bit about that. How about, Georgia, you tell me, when did you paint those pieces? You remember?
Just before Christmas?
Yeah,
just before Christmas. And how long have you been painting?
Since I was 4, I guess.
Since you were 4 years old. Did you start out with crayons and pencils and scribbles and whatever? And this is your first attempt at using paints? No, you've been doing that for some time.
Yes, ma'am.
So are you a student of Miss Chloe?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, she's done a good job with you.
Yes, she
has. I love the little bird sitting there. What's he sitting on, a wire or a tree
twig?
That's precious. And what's the other one?
This is a parrot.
A parrot. He could be a foreign guy. I love
hard
that.
to see on TV.
Very good job. It's hard to get the whole picture, but I want to make sure we talk about Helen Martin. Oh my gosh, Shelby went to school with me, and so we were friends forever, and Helen is her mom, and she's still painting.
Helen is still painting. We got her started again after 30 years of not painting.
Whoa.
And she started back, and we can't stop her now. And at 95, she's teaching a class in pastel every Thursday morning at Fiddlesticks, and she's wanting to get more students She's a wonderful teacher.
I don't know if you can get a picture of. There we go.
That's one of her early.
That's one of her early pictures.
That's one of her early
that's wonderful.
pictures.
She loves watermelons because
And
she's still painting them.
The one on the floor there.
The one that fell on the floor.
That one is one of her
Shall I
more
pick it up?
recent ones.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
There we go.
And,
Julie, you're doing a great job out there picking that
Yeah,
up.
she's been a big help to my shop and a big encouragement.
And when
I
does
just
she
love her.
teaches? What
She
days?
teaches Thursday mornings at 10:30.
Thursday morning at 10:30 every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
And the class is about an hour, or how long does she?
We usually are there for an hour, hour and a half. Depends on how we dig into the art. We might be there 2 or 3 hours. You just never know.
And is there a charge for that?
There is a charge. We charge $15 for people to come in. Now she's charging $65 for a 6-week course.
That's good.
And that's very reasonable.
And are they working in different mediums, or is it?
She's working
oils?
strictly in pastel.
In pastel.
Colored pastel. I work in oil, and I teach drawing and acrylics.
And do you teach every day?
I teach anytime anybody wants to learn. But we do have
and
youth
obviously
classes.
You schedule.
Yeah, we have youth classes on Wednesday and Friday at 1 o'clock.
And you're open
more like 1:30. And then we have adult classes scheduled for Tuesday and Thursday at 1 o'clock. And if someone wants to learn one-on-one, I'll sit down with them anytime because I'm always at the shop anyway.
There's
so
the phone number, just
I
call.
paint as often as I can.
I can tell that you do, and I was so blown away by the picture down here of the young girl.
The Foxy Lady.
The Foxy Lady. I think that is phenomenal. And when did you paint that?
I did that one just a couple of weeks ago.
That is beautiful. Did you have a subject?
I had a picture from an old yearbook.
A friend, or was that you?
No, it was a 1930s yearbook, and I just loved the looks of the women in there, and so I thought I'd paint a few of them.
Well, it's a
that's
beautiful
the first one I've
painting.
done.
And I noticed the one right next to it, kind of a Western
That's a pencil
flair.
drawing of a Western character. He was in the gold rush, and I found that in an old history book, and I just loved his face. I had to draw it. But I'd love to teach pencil, and I don't get to do that enough.
That's a hard medium, I think.
Well,
or do you think it
you
is?
have to be able to draw to paint.
Obviously.
And so everybody, like for instance, Georgia had to learn to draw these in order to paint them.
In order to paint
You can't
them.
just,
And you
usually
did
put
this
the...
beautiful, what kind of tree is that?
This is a birch tree, and
Isn't that pretty? I
I've
love
done
that.
4 trees so far, and well, 5 of them. 4 of them are
Now,
sold,
did you
and
have
this
a
is the only
subject?
one left.
Do you have a tree that looks like that?
I pick a tree out of a picture, and then I paint it into a background of some
Paint it
sort.
into a
And
background.
most of that is absolutely from my head. So, yeah, I love to do trees. I'm sort of the tree lady now.
Now, when a student comes to you for an art lesson, are you more there as a guide for them? Are they allowed to be creative on their own?
I tell them to either bring a picture that they like to paint or pick from mine. I have an archive of pictures they can go into and pick something out.
And how about the age limit?
The girls every other week get to paint what they want to paint, and then every other week I tell them what they're going to learn.
Oh, I see.
So they learn all the steps.
So, Georgia, do you have a favorite subject that you like to paint?
Mostly animals.
Mostly animals?
Yes, ma'am.
You know, that's a great subject. I look at my cat sometimes, and I wish that I could get the expression on his face. And I love that you like to do animals. Yeah. Do you have certain animals, or is it just any animal?
Just any animal.
Well, you're a talented young lady, and I'm so proud to have you on this show, and I know that Miss Chloe is proud to have you as a student.
Mm-hmm.
You're obviously homeschooled.
Yes, ma'am.
And would you say art is one of your favorite subjects?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. You going to try to pursue a career?
I don't know.
Okay, fiddlesticks on the square, almost, just off the square.
It's also more than just an art. It's antiques and.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we have
You have other
antiques,
things.
vintage clothing. We have a guy cave and a gal cave, and there's just lots to see there.
Guy
so
cave and a
come
gal
on down.
cave. What does that mean?
Well, the guys always tell me make sure you have plenty of guy stuff in this antique shop because they like to have things to see too. So I have one room just dedicated to things they like.
What kind of things do men like?
Well, anywhere from Jack Daniels to football and baseball and old records.
So you have a lot of that sort of thing.
I have a melee of things.
potluck.
It's just, every corner is different. So come in and take a look and browse, have a cup of coffee on me, and we'll talk.
That's great. I'm going to just have to pop over there. It
I don't
sounds like
mind
a fun place
browsers.
to be.
I love browsers. Take your time, spend all day if you want.
Is there any other picture that we want to say a little bit more about? I was interested in this because I know your son did this.
My son did that one when he was in college. I only have 2 pictures of his, so I can't sell them.
Did he have a subject? Or did he just
That was a
kind of
15-minute study. They had live subjects who posed for them and changed positions every 15 minutes.
That's very nice.
So that's charcoal.
Yeah, that's very nice.
That one's charcoal.
And like, what is your favorite medium?
I mostly paint in oil.
Mostly.
I like oil, but there's some subjects that
You
are
ever do
better done in. I do watercolor. Is
that harder?
Catherine Sherrill, whose abstract lady is down here somewhere. She teaches more in watercolor, and she's my assistant
So
in
you
other
have
things.
several teachers there.
Yes, and sometimes we'll have a guest teacher come in. For
Well, I
instance,
want you
Ann
to
Ford displays with us, and Denise Miller.
I want you to be sure and tell Miss Helen Martin I said hello, and
do
how
that.
I have admired her for all these years, and I miss her daughter a lot.
Well, come see her on Thursday morning.
All right. Chloe and Georgia, thank you for being here, and we'll be back with more things.
Thank you.
Looking for a unique gift for someone special, or perhaps something just for yourself? Then you need to check out Grady Mac Denim Company, right here in the heart of Tullahoma. Grady Mac features the full line of men's and women's Lucky brand apparel. Stop in and check out our denim production line. Grady Mac offers a full line of outdoor sporting apparel and much more. And check out our custom fly fishing equipment, fine art, and signed sports memorabilia. There's something for everyone at Grady Mac Denim Company, the most unique store in Tullahoma.
We get closer to a world with more birthdays when we take cancer patients by the hand. We help them find answers and guidance and hope, and give them more candles to light. We're the American Cancer Society. Help create a world with more birthdays at morebirthdays.com.
Serving you as a local firefighter. Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force. Serving Tullahoma. Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back to Living. I'm on the set with one of my favorite people, Kitty Shukla from the Care Center, and she's brought with her Bob Huffines.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome.
Correct. Thank you.
And you are the president of the Care Center now. Do I have that right?
As far as the board of directors,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
I'm more or less a newbie. I joined the board last year and was elected president this year, so I'm a little bit new at it, but I'm just glad to participate, and it's quite an experience.
It's a wonderful program, and
Yes.
thank you for serving, and thank you for serving.
With Bob as president, I know Care Center is in good hands.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And you need volunteers, and you need people willing to come in and help. And I know it's time next week for
Diamond, Peggy.
Diamonds.
Diamond-studded evening. What
Yes,
else?
diamond-studded evening. So bring out your
Yes.
diamonds, or go and get some diamonds and show up. We need to put that phone number up. I think I don't know if I gave it. I've got it here. 455-0755 to get tickets for the Diamond Studded evening. I believe the tickets are $50. 65. Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Anyway, it's a great cause.
It is a
Whether you can
great
go or
cause.
not, it's a great place to donate money. Tell me how it's going to happen at the.
Well, let me tell you. First, I'm going to tell people a little bit shortly about what Trinity Care
Yes,
Center
that's
is
important.
about, just in case they don't know. It is an adult daycare and activities program, as you know.
Yes. It's a
Licensed
wonderful
by
program.
State of Tennessee, serving Bedford, Coffee, Franklin, and more.
And it's a 401k, is it?
501c3.
or whatever all that is.
It is funded partially by United Way of Highland Rim and United Way of Franklin County. And a lot of donations. And we are there Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And we are trying to meet the needs of the caregivers who are trying to provide loving care to their loved one at home or a friend.
And if I'm not mistaken, you can bring somebody to the center in the
Right.
morning and they can stay so many
and
hours.
we are trying to meet the needs. So some people just bring them once in a while. There are some who come every day. There are some who come half a day. What we are trying to do is to meet the need of the caregiver.
Yes.
So it's for the respite for the caregivers, socialization for the participants who come to the care center.
I think people forget how important socialization is. It doesn't matter if you have a brain problem, Alzheimer's, or whatever. Some
Right.
people don't get out much, and the socialization is
That is
huge.
true. And a lot of people think that it's only for the elderly.
But it's for any age.
It is for any adults starting from age 18.
18 and up.
We have had somebody as young as 19 in our program and as old as 98.
That's wonderful.
Right.
I mean, anybody that's ever been a caregiver, which I have, knows
Me
that
too.
you need some space.
Right.
You know, once in a while you've got to have some space just to clear your head.
Plus, you know, Rosalind Carter wrote a book,
Yes.
President Carter's, caring for the caregivers, as to how important it is to take care of the caregiver.
And I think
Or
people
for them
forget
to-
that. Don't you think they do? They think
you know, that is, but that's a normal thing, because when you are trying to take care of someone, you put your thing on the back burner, your needs.
Exactly.
And
if
that
you
is-
don't think about yourself,
Yeah,
you're not going to
because-
be a good caregiver.
Right.
Bob, what got you interested in doing this program?
Well, actually, as far as some of the members of our church, we have projects around the actual house, the property. We have been traveling over there probably for 3 years and doing maintenance.
Good.
And so this introduced me to, you know, the adult care
needs.
center, the needs. And basically, because of that, I was invited to join the board of directors. And so we actually ended up doing this last year. And now I understand the concept as far as what we're doing, and it's a wonderful program,
It is. It's a
especially for
beautiful
industry and any kind of business, because there are those that, you know, that the caregivers are responsible for the elderly, and they in many cases they miss work to take care of the elderly,
Exactly.
which, you know, affects their pay, it affects their reputation and their status with the business.
And there's a lot of Alzheimer's patients there, right? Or am I
Some with
wrong?
some memory issues,
and some
because
memory,
of
like
the average age of a person is between 70 or 80.
Yeah.
And so some issues, you
Well,
know,
are there
and-
people that you can't take?
Well, we are wheelchair accessible.
Yeah.
But if somebody needs to be totally lifted and moved, of
can't-
course we are not
you're
equipped
not
for that.
capable
We
of
just
doing
don't have
that.
the muscle power, Peggy,
Exactly, I know.
which it is needed, and it's not safe. So somebody, as long as they can help transfer us from the chair to the toilet,
then
or
you can-
either ways,
you can help.
If they can help, then we can help.
So,
them.
like, for instance, if you have somebody that is in a wheelchair
Right.
and you maybe could pay a person to go with them and help,
guess.
that could work. So
That
they
can.
make that's just an idea.
I know,
Anyway,
yeah.
I'm always thinking
Well,
of ideas
that's a
because
good
I know so
thought,
many people
yeah.
that. Anyway, let's don't forget the Diamond Studded Evening, which is
February 7th, which is
next Saturday.
Next Saturday, it is at Lakewood Country Club in Tullahoma.
Starts at 6 o'clock.
Starts at 6 o'clock.
And is there a deadline on reservations?
Well, till next Thursday.
Till next Thursday. Okay, so be sure and call in.
And what it is that we are going to make it a fun evening. This is the 10th year we are doing the diamond studded evening.
And I know you have the auction. You still have the auction. And there's going to be some black diamonds.
No, chocolate-colored diamonds. We're going to have 3 chocolate-colored diamonds.
That's great. And you still have the little bags?
Yes, everybody gets a complimentary
who's
gift bag.
the jeweler that's...
Actually, we are doing this ourselves this time. We are trying to do things differently. And so...
You're so creative.
Well, hey, no, Valentine's Day.
They're going to run us off, so don't forget.
But I need to do my sponsors, please.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, can't do without that.
Okay, go ahead.
For the diamond level sponsors, which is $1,000, is Mary Warner Beard, Jacobs Technologies, Coca-Cola, and Dr. and Mrs. Sandeep Shukla. Ruby level sponsors are at $500, which is Ascent Federal Credit Union, Adult and Pediatric Dermatology, Citizens Tri-County Bank, Russell Barnett. Emerald level sponsors at $300 are Bailey Manor, Emeritus, Harton Regional Medical Center, Marvel Clinic, Dr. Susan Collier, Stan McNabb, Tullahoma Vision and Eye Associates, Wycott Realtors, Joe Orr and Kathy Orr, and Traders National Bank.
Okay, big hand to the sponsors because
and it is not too late to sponsor yet.
They're going to run us
right.
off. Bob, thanks for coming.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat. You know, they do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the paint works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
And we're back here on Marilyn Ewing. It's always a pleasure to be here on Living and have a very special guest from the Shelbyville and Bedford County area. It is Kay Humble. She is the director of Women of Grace, and it's a beautiful facility located 12 acres or so there in Bedford County. Yes. I want to say welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure to see you. Yes. Because you are doing wonderful things there in Bedford County. Lots of women have come to you, are going through a great program and such. I want to back this up. It is located in Bedford County, an old farmhouse, I do believe, that was actually renovated. Let's talk about it.
Yes, the farmhouse was bought by the ministry, and they had another man's ministry in town that had a lot of carpenters, so they came out and renovated the house for us. Yeah. And it's just a lovely facility.
Worked out great.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
So it's all been kind of ministry oriented. We have 8 beds that the women stay upstairs, the residents are upstairs, and then my husband and I live in the lower section.
Okay.
We run the property and take care of everything. So
Very good.
The girls that come to us are just very special, and we just take a lot of time with them, and they stay with us for a year.
Yeah.
And we try to get their lives reestablished. We also try to involve their families and help the whole system get into recovery.
Sure.
Our girls come to us from the court system.
Okay.
They sometimes off the street, but a lot of the women that are there are challenged in some way or another, and so PTSD runs rampant, and so we do a lot of referring to outside sources for that sort of thing.
Exactly. Now, getting into the program and such, is there a cost for this at all? Or?
There's a $300 entry fee that covers the administrative costs of them, and then the ministry carries them until they can get a job and go to work.
Okay.
We let them usually settle in for about a month, and then we start trying to help them find vocational placement. And that's part of the program. They give into the program from their work, and so it's working out really well for us right now because we operate off donations.
Okay.
And so everything we get is just donated to us. It's a nonprofit, so
exactly.
It's working out really well.
Yeah, I see. It's a Christian-based program and such. So churches, church ministries and such, or going to church is probably a priority.
Yes. Yes. Reestablishing a spiritual life is really important for these women, and that helps stabilize them so much. We believe that Jesus Christ is an important part of their recovery. So we encourage them to build a church family while they're there. So we take them to church, and then we have Bible studies there on the premises for them. We also are the first women's meeting of NA, Narcotics Anonymous. We've started a women's meeting on Wednesday nights. So that's the first women's meeting for NA that we've had in Bedford County. So we're real proud of that. We're having quite a crowd come in for that.
Yes.
So we've got outside people that come in and do programs for us.
Sure.
Haven of Hope recently was there and did some work with us. So we're just blessed coming in and going out.
Right. Now you mentioned you're basically donation ran.
Yes.
And such. Donations come to you frequently?
Yes.
Do they are really responding?
Yes.
Okay.
We are having a yard sale coming up. We raise money. We're having a yard sale this Friday and Saturday at the old pawn shop there in Shelbyville. It used to be Mitt Whitty's grocery store, but it's 403 Thompson Street. We've had just an inundation of donations for that, and that'll be from 9 to 5 on Friday and Saturday of this week. And we've hooked up with 2 other ministries. We've got the Fresh Start Ministry is involved, and the Truth and Nails Ministry, which is a ministry for young adolescent males.
Yes.
So we're all kind of working together for the same goal, and we're just really excited that people have just donated so many things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I know there has to be a website, there's phone numbers and such where people can get in touch, learn a little bit more about the program, and make donations, of course.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Our website is www.women-of-grace.org. So that will get you to our web page and what we are about. It's also, you can print out an application if you're wanting to be considered for residential there. And then we have a post office box, P.O. Box 379. Anybody can write us in Shelbyville 37162. Our phone number is 931-492-6676, and I'm usually the one that answers that. So that's how you get in touch with us.
Very, very good. I know that a lot of these women have families, children and such. Visitation, is that permitted at all?
Yes. After the first 90 days of being there with us, and we get them stabilized, get them vocationally oriented, and get everything kind of settled down for them. Then we begin a visitation, and it's a step-down visitation. It's like at first they can only have visitors on premises, but then after 180 days they get to have off visits as well. So it starts out kind of strict, but as they go along, they earn their privileges. So we're about reestablishing the family and getting everybody back on board.
I know that you mentioned just before the show you've got a waiting list. So you look to expand one day. I think you're going to be blessed with that.
That's one of my prayers. I have seen this work in Bedford County, and I just have a vision for other counties. You know, God has really laid that on my heart, and I'm really praying about that. You know, because I really believe we've got a good model going here, and it's something that I think that other counties could take advantage of too.
That prayer will be answered.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Kay, for being a guest on Living today. It's always a pleasure. You're such a joy to be around, and good luck with everything you're doing there.
Oh, Marilyn, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Kay Humble, she is the director of Women of Grace. You had the credentials, the phone number there on the screen just moments ago. Back with more Living right after this. Stay with us.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Hello, this is Janie Price. When my husband Ray Price would tour across the country, his favorite place to dine was Cracker Barrel Old Country Store locations. His favorite thing to order was the Uncle Herschel.
And the beauty of it all is forever, you'll be holding me to.
I miss Ray dearly, and I'm so proud that his last album, Beauty Is the Final Sessions, is available at his favorite restaurant.
A love affair.
The project includes a duet with Martina McBride and harmony vocals from Vince Gill. Ray believed this to be the best recording he had ever made.
Oh, I wish I was 18 again.
I think you'll agree when you pick up your copy of Beauty Is the Final Sessions at a Cracker Barrel Old Country Store location near you or at crackerbarrel.com.
A world without breast cancer is a world with more birthdays. And signing up for the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk will help us get there faster. The American Cancer Society invests in groundbreaking breast cancer research, and we're part of every community. In fact, 1 in 2 women newly diagnosed with breast cancer turns to us for support. Sign up today at makingstrideswalk.org. Together, we can finish the fight against breast cancer.
All right, folks, we're back, and I've got the bounce queen here today, one of the book babes. She absolutely, Miss Sharon Edwards, and I just love it when she comes because she's so full of energy and all. I wish I was a kid again. This is the children's librarian at Lanham Memorial Library here in Tullahoma.
Yes.
And
story time every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
And you got something special happening this week?
Yes, this Thursday, what is the date for this Thursday? It's the 29th, is that right? Yes. The 29th. At 6:30, Dr. Bradley, and does he need an introduction in this town? I don't think so. You just say Dr. Bradley and everybody goes, yes, I know exactly who you're talking about. And he is going to kick off our local history lecture series, which I think is needed. You know, we learn Tennessee history and, American history, but not a lot of that in class is focused directly on Tullahoma and Coffee County and exactly what Tullahoma and Coffee County has contributed to the nation, to the state and the nation, and it's a lot. The longer I'm here, the more I learn.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know that we have enough American history and Tennessee history in the classroom anymore.
Yeah.
It's all about the math. It's all about teaching to the test, and those things aren't much on the test.
Yeah, that's kind of a hot topic these days.
Math and science, and I think history is a very, very important thing because
it is.
We are where we came from.
That's true. I agree with that. And Dr. Bradley is going to be lecturing specifically on how in 1863, Tullahoma was the center of the Civil War.
Oh, it was.
Like all the eyes were on Tullahoma. And so it's going to be great. And I'm in a conference with Dr. David Hebert. Do you know him?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And he enjoys, they're great people. And he's going to come and lecture. I'm thinking of doing one lecture a quarter. So he's going to come, I'm looking at April, to come and talk about the German paperclip community and its contributions with the Air Force Base.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a cool series.
Yeah. If you've got anything to do with it, of course it is.
Thank you. Yeah, but that's not all we got. That's just this week, Thursday at 6:30 at the library. The first Saturday in January is National Take Your Child to the Library Day.
February.
Did I say January? Okay, February. That's true. The first Saturday in February is National Take Your Child to the Library Day. And so we're doing a Saturday story time marketed toward parents who work throughout the week and are unable to bring their children to our story time.
During the week,
because they're working.
Yeah,
I'm a parent, I'm working,
Yeah.
so I know how it is. And
and kids are in school or in some kind of care somewhere.
That's true, yes. And we did this last year on Take Your Child to the Library Day and had a wonderful turnout. And this year we partnered with the Tullahoma Literacy Council and the Coffee County Imagination Library. And so the three of us are going to be there.
That's good.
I know.
Yeah, that's really good.
I love partnerships. I love bringing the community together in different ways.
Yeah.
I love that. And so they'll be here to craft and read stories, and we're going to have a good time. That's at 10 o'clock Saturday, the February 7th.
Yeah. Just a sidebar. Who's playing in the Super Bowl?
Katy Perry.
I love it.
I don't know that.
Other than that, I don't. That's good. That's all we need to know.
Yeah.
No reason to ask you to pick a score or anything like that.
I will tell you this. I have a friend who we were in undergrad together, and he's a piano player, and he started his own puppet company. And he designs puppets for, shows like Avenue Q and things of that nature. And he posted a couple weeks ago that he was in need of some red felt, and he called the company that he normally gets his material from, and they were completely out of it, out of all of the red felt, and they said it was because of the Super Bowl. And so he was like, the only thing I can think is Katy Perry. So I wonder if we're going to see some bright red something. Maybe she's wearing a giant cape.
The whole field will be covered in red
felt. It may be. I don't know. If it is, then we'll know why.
So that sounds, now let's get back to the Puppet Man.
Yeah.
That sounds really interesting. Where is he located?
He is in Atlanta now. He was in Murfreesboro, and his company is Rooster Socks Puppet Company. I just plugged that for you, Neil. And he's a fun guy, and he designs puppets and
is being able to sustain his lifestyle by designing puppets.
Designing puppets and doing classes. He also works with children with autism, which, my son's been diagnosed with autism, so he and I communicate a lot that way. And they do some crafting together, and sometimes they can communicate through a puppet better or do some social skill play.
Right.
And it really works as a method of therapy for them.
Wonderful.
I know. Yeah, I know a lot of good people. You too.
You need to bring, next time that guy comes around, you need to bring him on the show.
I will. I'll holler at him.
Does he come to the library? Will you get him at the library?
I wanted to. Last year when I was booking summer reading, but he was in the process of moving from Murfreesboro to Atlanta, and so it was just not logistically where he could do that. And so I've thought about it, trying to get him to come and do a performance there.
That would be great.
It would be really great.
It would be great.
Yeah.
Does he also build like big stuff like
I saw
Disney type stuff, skeletal type things?
No, he's done some things with like dowels where you needed to control it, but it wasn't like big.
Right.
I saw a production of Little Mermaid where he did the puppets for the eels.
Right.
Flim and Flam. I can't remember their names.
Whatever.
Yeah, and so the puppeteer was doing that to do the eels.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. Way cool.
Yeah.
You're way cool.
Well, thank you. I think you are too.
Thank you. Well, we just need to make sure you come back and keep us informed about what's going on at the library.
Well, I'd be happy
now, for all you people who don't know where that is, that's on College Street?
Yes, 312 North Collins.
And it's right across from the codes department, and the road coming from Cedar Lane over to that is blocked off right now because of the new water park construction. But you can get them, and you can find this lovely child over there, and I guarantee you she will light up your day.
Thank you.
Sharon Edwards. Thank you for being with us, honey. It's always a pleasure.
I love being here.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.
Are you tired of getting those letters in the mail being turned down for that new car due to bankruptcy, medical expenses, or divorce? Then look no further than Russell Barnett Kia. Good credit, bad credit, no problem. Here at Russell Barnett Kia, we are your bank. Dial 931-455-6066 or visit us on the web at russellbarnett.com. And remember, we are the bank and we can help you. Good credit, bad credit, no problem. Why buy anywhere else?
It's your trademark. That's something special everyone knows and remembers. It's your thing. It's made holidays special for decades and summers unforgettable for the entire neighborhood. It's made everyone laugh every single time. Don't let illness or injury keep you from doing your thing. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network. All right, we're back, and we're getting ready to close this thing down. We want you to know that Katy Perry is playing in the Super Bowl. We don't know what the line is on that yet, or the over and under on Katy Perry, but I guarantee you she'll probably win.
She might.
She'll probably win.
Yeah.
Peg, what's coming up with you? Bell Buckle Banquet Hall.
Banquet Hall, February 14th, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's
dinner.
dance.
It's going to be a wonderful
evening, and I think Greg's going to be here next week to help promote that. And of course, you remember to go to the library.
Yes.
This is the book babe right here, and she's just the best.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll see you next time, folks. Bye-bye.
Bye.